Okie dokie. Aside from that, though, you're serious? You need the 20th off? You need Friday off? Oh, Thursday and Friday off? So, the 16th to 17th? And was that truly for some kind of Juneteenth party? You're just going out of town. A personal day. And the stock market's really closed on the 20th? That's this year for sure? Now, is there some, this is not a joke, but is there some kind of celebration we're supposed to have? Or like, what do we do? Yeah. So, we gotta look into that. Because I didn't take advantage of Cinco de Mayo. I was upset. Like, that was our chance. Valentine's Day, we gotta take advantage of these things. Juneteenth, like, I need to, gotta stay up to date with this stuff. You know what I mean? Just start the show. It's like, please quit talking about it. Hey, welcome to the closing beat, everybody. Happy Monday. News to me, stock market is closed June 20th this year, coming up next month. So I guess we'll be closed as well, and Cody's going to take a few days off ahead of time for something that he doesn't want to tell me. All right. Welcome, by the way. I hope you had a good weekend, got a lot of rest. For a whole lot of nothing today in the stock market. I actually did pretty much nothing the entire weekend. It got to a point where I was just sitting there eating and we had nothing on in the house. It was nice and quiet and I was just enjoying it. And my wife was like, I know you like to have music on in the background. Do you want to turn something on? And I said, no, I'm good. She goes, really? What, do you got a song stuck in your head? And I'm like, I always have a song stuck in my head. And she goes, all right, what's the song you got stuck in your head? Cody, can you guess what song was in my head? No? All right. So I say, you don't want to know. And she's like, no, go ahead. What song you got stuck in your head? I don't care. And I said, all right, here I'm going to hit you with it. And I go, wait till we get our hands on you. I don't know why that was stuck in my head. Who knows that, huh? Was that 10, 20 years old? The old marketing pitch there. Anyways, we're here to talk about the stock market, not to tell you how crazy I am with weird songs going on in my head. But yes, there always is a song, and I can dial them up just like that. The stock market today, as the title says, was like a room full of puppies. Because if you put puppies in a room, they would just kind of go wherever they want, willy-nilly. They would not all head in one direction. They would not follow each other. They would just do whatever they darn well pleased for the day, and that's what the stock market did today. This week on our Wine and Wealth class, we're going to have Eric, so he'll be joining us here. It's first time on the Wine and Wealth, so we'll have some questions for him. We'll cover some topics as well, so bring your questions if you are one of our clients and you want to ask Eric a question. We are the only advisors that genuinely say, ask us anything you want. Everything's public anyways, whatever you want to know, whether it's personal, business, you name it, we can answer it because that's how we like to treat things here. Any question goes. And I mean that. If you're looking to join Jazz Wealth, well, thank you, first of all, but you can go right to the website. We are accepting clients there, and thank you for all of those of you who have joined us from the waiting list and everything. I'm glad that waiting time is over, thankfully. Anyways, FinTips videos this week, if you're interested, they're free. No strings attached or anything. Go on our YouTube channel like you are now and just go to searching the videos that come out at 1 o'clock every day. Eric took the lead here this week. He got things kicked off. I will be doing the video tomorrow, and we will have one for you every day. FinTips every single day. It does take us a little bit to put that stuff together. So if you like, subscribe, do your thing. That's all good. Enough sales pitch. Let's get on to the good stuff. That's the stock market off to the right-hand side of your page. Small loss on the S&P here today. I don't mean to talk fast. It's just, I wanted something to happen. I was excited. I got a lot of rest over the weekend. And the stock market did a whole lot of nothing. Here's the S&P. I'll tell you one thing, though. This day, today, had less than a 2% range. So, in other words, from high to low, the way it wiggled all day was less than 2%. If you measure from the high to the low, you get like 1.5%. That's only the second day in a month that we've seen that. Every other day besides one other day, can you find it on the charts in the last 30 days, has had a daily range of less than 2%. That is huge. Look over here, right? Feast your eyes on this over here. That's a normal market right there. That's a normal, it could be weak, could be strong, doesn't matter, but those little tiny days, they look so insignificant now, don't they? This wild intraday range is incredible there. As far as stocks go in the S&P, like I said, scattered day, puppies running around the room trying to figure out where to go. You got Apple, one of your bigger stocks out there, down just a little bit on the day. Nvidia, some of the other names here, down about 2%, but Microsoft added about 0.15%. Eli Lilly had some good news. One of their diabetes drugs, type 2 diabetes, I believe, was what these guys were. So that was a little bit higher. Pfizer a little bit higher. Amazon a little bit lower. Tesla a little bit lower. ExxonMobil, or anything related to energy, very strong today, sad to say. Oil was up 3% on the day and looking like it is not going to look back for a while. So you got that going on. Banks were a little bit lower there. You got Visa and the card processors, JP Morgan a little bit lower, but you know what? United Healthcare was higher. So that's awesome. Danaher was lower, but John Deere was higher. So you see what I'm saying? There's nothing for me to say that's, what are you looking at? What are you looking? What, is it too loud? Well, I'm sorry. You're staring at me like I stole your cookies or something over there. Okay, well, thank you for that update. Sorry, I will just go like this. There's a whole lot of nothing going on. If you're looking in energy, all right, I'll give you that, right? So if you happen to be an energy or oil trader, you had a great time over there. It's been a great time for you. You're in the best sector year to date. There is no sign of this thing even kind of trying to be a little bit weaker. It doesn't matter where you're looking. You could have taken a shot on anything. ExxonMobil, Chevron. Are we good over there? It's all good. All right. Well, thank you. EOG, you could look at some of the smaller names in the space, some of the stronger names. Didn't really matter. That's what's going on over there. I'll point out, let me go back here. Some of the consumer staples, defensive stocks, high dividend, low, slow, and boring stocks. Procter & Gamble a little bit higher on the day. Pepsi seems to be continuing to get the attention there. Coca-Cola as well. Philip Morris, even though you may not like what they do, they are performing for you there. Same with Altria after the big gap down the other day. It has now reversed more than half of it. Archer Daniels is going to be in the news quite a bit here. Anything related to agriculture and wheat providers, distributors, wholesalers, retailers, they're all going to be in the news, of course, with what's going on over there, and Dollar General a little bit as well. Year to date for the S&P, you could use, I'm going to use the SPX. Well, see, you got to type it in the right spot. I'm going to use the SPX there. If you're looking year to date so far, we've got losses back around the 16% area. It's about 15.75%, but that's not the worst. The worst is actually the NASDAQ, which is down about 25%, and the Dow is down the least. I'll just use the DIA for that one. The Dow is down the least on the year, down 11% there. The Dow, however, is down 7 weeks in a row. The last time the Dow was down 7 weeks in a row, I had just started college, right? So I don't like to say like, yeah, this is the first time we've had a loss of this much in the last, 2 years. Let's put a time frame on it. Make you think about it a little bit. So the last time the Dow lost 7 weeks in a row, which has already happened, right? The S&P's lost 6. I think the NASDAQ lost 6 in a row, but the Dow's already down 7. I had just started college. That makes you think about it, right? Because I'm going to turn 40 in about 3-4 weeks, actually. So that shows you how crazy this is, actually. And I pointed it out in our notes from Jazz. So this is an email that I do every week for clients, but we also archive them so you can take a look there. I had pointed out some of the things that are going on and how really bad the market actually is. We looked under the hood a little bit to kind of go over those things. You could actually go back, and we played some different games inside of this. I shared this with you. But I actually wanted to point out, like, this, although it doesn't feel as bad, right? This pullback in the market, it's bad. I'll give you that. But you know that market cap-wise, we've already lost about 3 times what we've lost during the financial crisis, 2 times what we lost during COVID. It doesn't feel that bad. But when you start throwing around numbers like that, you're, wait a minute, that financial crisis, that was a doozy, right? That was a real problem there. So it's really getting to be that bad, right? Although, we're working our ways out of it here. Anyways, enough rambling there. Let's go on over to the NASDAQ. We're down 6 weeks in a row, which actually for the NASDAQ, just fun fact there, has only happened 4 other times in its history there. And although it's only 4 other data points, if you were to use those as data points to try to determine when the NASDAQ falls 6 weeks in a row and it loses at least 20%, what was the likelihood of a recession? Well, unfortunately, every single one of those 4 times either led to or was at the very, very beginning of a recession. You wouldn't do that study because there's only 4 data points there, but if you did, you wouldn't be very happy. Sector-wise, not a lot to cover today. Like I said, puppies in a room, you know, the gist of it there. Communication services was the only positive sector last week, but to be truthful, it only gained 0.30%. So basically, every sector was lower on the week. XLRE, which is real estate there, if you want to look at that one, and consumer discretionary, I use the XLY. They had losses of about 3.5% on the week. Those were the worst, and 8 of 11 sectors last week lost 1% or more. Just to give you an idea, like, all right, that was pretty bad, right? It wasn't like the week before where everything sort of finished neutral after a wild stop there, but no, it was pretty bad there. Today, energy, your best performing sector, if you're looking around, healthcare came in second place. Technology and consumer discretionary were once again weaker, which means that over the last 6 days, consumer discretionary has now lost over 5%. So it's getting almost 6%, getting close to about 1% a day there. Natural gas, sorry. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say about that. Natural gas is just crushing it this year. It is by far the best performing commodity, asset class, product, anything that you can invest in. It's the best performing group if you were to try to group them into the categories there. Even anything around the world, right? If you were to change them in different currency denominations, still the best performer. Oil had a good day. We talked about that already. Gold was basically flat. Bonds came down just a little bit. Yields came down a little bit. Bond prices moved a little bit higher. But other than that, you could say growth stocks were the ones to take the biggest hit today. That'd be truthful. It was just sort of salt and pepper, right? Puppies in a room. I'm going to stick with puppies in a room. Anyways, research site, there were no office trades today. We actually had a client come by, or a new client, someone that's known of us for a few years there, wanted to stop by and finally given us a chance here at Jazzwell. So I wanted to just come by and say hi after it's been a while. So we wanted to spend some time with them. You're also welcome to come by if you like. Just give us a heads up. Most of you know where we're at. If you don't, it's public. You can find us. We are not one of those people that say, no, you can't come and see us. We don't allow that. New highs and lows. There were 7 new highs, 8 new lows on the day. The new highs were all energy besides Merck. So Merck was the only new high on the list that was not energy. Otherwise, Chevron, I thought was an interesting kind of a breakout, sloppy breakout pattern for Chevron in an otherwise strong sector there. Occidental Petroleum, recent Buffett addition there, moving to new highs, of course. Why would that not do well? PNC Bank is one of the new lows, getting extended like the rest of them. Banks are extended here to the downside, but have been very, very difficult to try to scoop up positions there. Best Buy. It feels like dead money, to be honest. It is trending lower, but in this incredibly boring and slow range. And that might be good news if you own it, that it's not just falling apart with everything else. Because you notice how it didn't fall apart with the stock market? So maybe that's a good thing, but it just doesn't feel like it's adding up to being anything worthwhile. BlackRock, also another one in the financial space. I just wanted to point out that if you're looking at financials, you pretty much have your pick of the litter there to keep referencing the old puppy stuff there. All right, stocks in the news. And then I'll take your questions. Netflix in the news. It's not the newest news. Came out before the weekend started there. They sent an email out to all their employees saying, hey, look, if you don't like what we're working on and you don't like some of our movies or some of the content or the creators that we have on our platform, go find another job. So good for them, right? That's I don't know if that was the smartest thing for them to do, but they took a stand there, and that's a one for the other side, because lately it feels like the little guy's winning. Peloton, which is not a bad thing, right? I mean, it just kind of feels like we all need to let's just grow up a little bit, right? Let's get back to work. Peloton, down 2.5% on the day. Barron's basically took a shot here. So Barron's had a whole thing written on them. They said that the stock is cheaper than ever from a takeover perspective, not from a, oh, wow, maybe I should buy the stock. And it was easy to misunderstand that, and maybe you could have, but I'm telling you now, that's Barron's was saying that they think that this now becomes an attractive takeover candidate because of its valuation, not an attractive investment. So there you go. McDonald's selling off their Russian business. It's been about 30 years that they've been in Russia. They're going to sell off their operations there officially instead of trying to reopen or figure out what in the world they're going to do over there. I don't know who they're going to sell it to or anything. I'm just grabbing the headline there. Costco. So this kind of ends a really strong period for Costco. I'm not saying it can't bounce here, but this record run we've seen over the last couple of years may be getting a little bit trickier because it appears that the company may have tried to expand too much during COVID, and now the demand is down just a little bit at the moment. And so now they go, oh crap, now we have all this stuff. We don't have the same amount of people buying it. That becomes a little bit of a problem and likely why you've seen the discount here. And JetBlue. There you go. So JetBlue, this is, they want to buy Spirit Airlines, right? I told you the story about the guy that worked for Spirit. They wanted to buy Frontier, and then that didn't work out, so he left, and he went back to the other airline, and then they tried to buy him. Well, JetBlue came along and said, we'll give you $33 a share. And basically Spirit said, no. We don't want to do that. JetBlue changed their offer and said, we're going to go what would be considered like a hostile takeover, if you ever see that word being thrown around. We're going to go directly to the shareholders, offer them $30 a share, and increase that if they all approve to reject the offer, the Frontier offer there. So now it's drama. You know what I mean? They'll figure it out. But that's where that stands. Elsewhere, you've got earnings coming out from Home Depot. This is the retail side of earnings now. So earnings season is basically over, except for retail stocks. So we'll have Home Depot, Walmart, and that's basically it for tomorrow. That'll get us started there. A couple others, smaller names there. Also, you have the Fed members working like crazy, like just nonstop. There are 4 Fed members speaking tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there are 5 Fed members speaking tomorrow. Out there making their point. So that's likely going to move the markets a little bit as well, depending on what they say. And we will see what happens there. Other than that, I'll take questions here and see what I can do for you. And go from there. Kramer says, and I agree, never buy a stock because you hope it gets bought out. That's a tough one. Roku, right? That's my belief, but it has not happened yet. Yep. Got to grab more Costco while it's on sale. Yeah, now what's happened recently, think of it as a little bit of fat, right? So they got a little bit too fat during COVID, trying to add more and grow more and take advantage of the demand. That's got to bleed off a little bit. Nothing wrong with the company, but for the moment, they're carrying a little excess weight. They got to shed that, and then they'll be just fine. Costco's going to be just fine. Anybody know, did they ever raise their price of their hot dog, the hot dog and Coke thing? So that's their deal, is like, hey, it's $1.50, and they, like, during inflation and stuff, they've never really raised it. I don't shop at Costco, so I don't know. I'm always curious. Costco has a lot on the plate. Take advantage of it. Oh, so we got a fan. There you go. Mm-hmm. Umair, looking to enter the market as a first-timer. Well, you picked a very exciting time. Yeah. Hang on tight. Smaller positions and just hold for bigger moves for the moment. That's what you got there. So don't try to take a big shot on something, because right now the movement on a day-to-day basis will just frustrate the devil out of you. So go with smaller positions and just get a feel for it. No, just build slowly. Now's not the time to be a hero. Which has more risk, PayPal or AMD? I think you'd have to say PayPal, right? I mean, I don't know for certain, but I think you'd have to say PayPal. PayPal has been trying to come out of the downtrend here, but the risk is that it does not and continues to trend lower, whereas everybody's kind of saying, all right, this pullback in AMD and some of the other semiconductors is a buyable pullback. You don't hear that as much for PayPal. You also don't see analysts saying the same thing, and they are proposed to have known more than me. I'm sure they do. Hot dog prices stand firm. All right. Nice. Okay. I've never actually had one, but I don't know. They should do cinnamon rolls. You know what I mean? They should just, I mean, maybe they do, but cinnamon rolls are where it's at because that smell, you know what I mean? It just kind of wafts around. You know, you go to an airport, you know when you're coming up on the Cinnabon or the Auntie Anne's, if they're like you know. You smell it from a mile away. Looks like others agree that PayPal must have the higher risk there. Yeah. This is exactly why where people, when the Twitter deal came out and people were saying, Dustin, this doesn't make any sense. Why don't I just buy the stock now and I'm guaranteed the 54.20? And I was like, well, you're not guaranteed it, right? And obviously people don't believe it's guaranteed. Otherwise, the stock price would ping right at 54.20. Whenever you see a stock that gets bought out or is been offered to be bought out and they say it's $55 and the stock price goes right to 55, that deal's pretty much a done deal. It would take some sort of governmental override for that to break up. We never got to that point with Twitter, which is a tough one for Twitter stockholders. Straight Jacket says airline stocks are doomed and long-term tech stocks will make air travel less and less required. I read an article once from the CEO of Southwest stated they never invest in airline stocks. That's a comment? Okay. Yeah. So people just won't go. What are we going to do? We're not going to go to the Bahamas? I'm going to the Bahamas. I mean, I'm not going now, but like, I would go. I don't need technology for that. Yeah. Oh, IKEA does the cinnamon. Yeah, they do. But they're not real cinnamon rolls. You know what I mean? They're like IKEA cinnamon rolls. It's kind of like their soda. What is that? So I'm not buying into those cinnamon rolls. It's okay. They do an okay job there, especially with the smell. Yeah. I have no idea what Elon Musk is doing. I don't follow the minute-by-minute comments or questions or whatever for him. Yeah. You're in San Diego this week catching it. Oh, doing a little traveling. Well, there you go. Dustin was on a plane. Yep. Buyout talk on Ryder. I didn't catch that today. Should have caught that. Oh, because that was the other day. Yeah. Yep. I think the price was low. I was reading about this on Saturday night, but I honestly got distracted because I did not finish what I was reading. I think the price I'd have to read up on it, but I think the price is ultimately low. It was $4-something billion, and that put it at $87 a share, somewhere in there. It was 86. Okay. I think you end up seeing a higher price there. Well, Straight Jacket, so Dustin to the Bahamas, but then I have to come back, right? So maybe that'll help him? So I'm going to go, and I'll probably take somebody. So there's an extra seat. Maybe that'll save him. I don't know. Hey, I'm going to wrap it up there and get back to work because we are quite busy. With conversions and tax loss harvesting, everything that we're doing for clients to take advantage of the downturn in the market. I don't rest during this time. We get it done. So I'm going to continue to do that. Thanks for your patience if I have missed your questions or anything like that. We will be back tomorrow to do it all over again, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. See you.